Me and My Son. With an education-friendly platform, Me and My Son was crafted simply for the mind grooming of children. Our collection of stories is scripted and written solely with the intention of allowing the children to learn some valuable lessons with a pinch of fun. Each story helps children learn a new lesson, assisting them to be better people. Since the collection is of inspirational stories, it can guide the child to construct their mindset towards kindness and being better. Table of Content. Story number 6, The Bicycle Race. Story number 7, Expressing Emotions. Story number 8, Student of the Year. Story number 9, Homemade Pie. Story number 10, The Homework. Story number 6, The Bicycle Race. Jill was very excited today after coming back from school. He couldn't wait to tell his dad the great news.
Daddy, you know, I have been selected for a bicycle race by my school's sports team. Children from different schools are participating. I am so excited and can't wait for the final day and be a winner.
Jill was super excited.
Well, all the best, my little champion.
Dad cheered Jill.
But you must practice daily, after finishing your homework.
Dad reminded him.
Sure, Daddy,
said Jill and ran off to the garage to look for his bicycle parked in there. Jill worked hard and practiced on his bicycle daily for an hour. He was so proud that he was the only one selected from his school, and just wanted to prove that he was the best and be the winner to get a trophy. 2 weeks passed, and the final sports day was here. Jill was all prepared. New sneakers, a bicycle in good condition, a water bottle filled. Ready, steady, go. And the race began. Jill was fully focusing on the track, speeding up, crossing other players on the track, and was now among those 3 players who were ahead of all others and near the winning line. All was going well when Jill saw his friend Christy, who was also a participant from another school, fall from her bicycle and was really in pain. She was holding her knee, and it was badly hurt. Jill stopped for a moment.
What should I do now? I am so near to winning. But Christy, I can't leave her alone like this. She is a dear friend of mine.
Jill was confused. It took him a minute to decide.
I know what to do.
He turned his bicycle, rode back to Christy, helped her get up, and pulled his bicycle up to the finish line. Though Jill couldn't win the race that he had really practiced for weeks. But he was given a special award for helping the one in need. Jill felt happier helping his friend in her time of need than getting a trophy if he had won the race. So what we learn from this story is that sometimes winning is not about coming first from others, but helping others to win makes you a winner too. Moral of the story: helping others make you a winner too.
Story number 7, Expressing Emotions. Jill, what a cranky boy you have become. Look what you have done, broke my favorite coffee mug. I was really mad at him, and he didn't like to talk much or express his feelings to others. A week back we went to a nearby park. It was a cool breezy evening. Children were playing on the swings. As Jill was waiting for his turn, something fell near his feet. A baby bird fell off a nearby tree and was injured. This really made Jill feel so sad.
Daddy, I hate this wind. It made the poor chick fall off from his nest.
Jill stomped his feet and started to weep. I tried to calm him down, but all in vain. Knock knock. Hey buddy, can we talk? I peeped through the door.
Yes, Daddy.
Jill allowed me to come in. How are you feeling now? I asked.
I'm a bit better.
Jill replied. But what made you so angry that you broke the mug? I tried to ask directly.
Daddy, today when I was buying some snacks from the shop, I saw a beggar wearing torn clothes and no shoes. He was asking for money. I gave him what I could, but the shopkeeper and a few people around made fun of him and scolded him. The beggar left, but I felt so bad for him. They could have helped him as I did. Instead, they insulted him just because he was a poor man. I tried to talk to the shopkeeper, but he didn't listen to me. It made me so angry that I felt my brain would explode.
Okay. Relax, my son. You did an amazing job by helping the poor beggar, but not everyone in this world has a pure heart like yours. Breaking things is not a solution to it, and you should try to divert your attention into something positive. Jill seemed to agree with my advice. Jill needs a way to express his emotions positively. Now I know what to do. The next day I brought a big piano and some paints and brushes. Jill was super excited to get these unexpected gifts. He got an instructor to teach him piano lessons. In no time, he became good at both. He would now create his own new tunes or paint whatever he felt with a message. No did not break things. Instead, he would vent out by drawing or painting it out. Jill felt much better, no longer a cranky kid, but an emotionally stable and happy boy. So what we learn from this story is that it is very important to express our feelings constructively so that others can understand and become better people. Moral of the story: express emotions constructively so you don't hurt the ones you love.
Story number 8, Student of the Year.
Jill, what are you doing, son?
The dad asks his son when he notices his son continuously studying.
I'm doing homework, Dad. I want to be the student of the year this time.
Jill replied happily as the dad patted him on the head, happy with his courage.
Good luck, son.
The dad motivated his son and left. Jill went back to studying and completing all of his homework.
It's so hard. I can never win the award if I'm not able to memorize any of it.
Jill said in frustration when he wanted to learn the course for his upcoming final exams. Jill was upset about whether he will win the award or not. The next day, when Jill asked his teacher to help him memorize everything from his syllabus, the teacher helped him, but he was still unable to keep everything in mind. Then, an idea popped into Jill's mind, and he didn't know whether it was right or wrong. All he knew was that it could help him become the student of the year. So, the day before the first final exam, Jill started planning his idea and creating cheat sheets for himself. Even though he felt he was doing the wrong thing, he could only think about becoming the student of the year. The next day, when Jill was attending the exam, he hid the cheat sheet in his pouch and would look at it whenever he would forget the answer to a specific question. The teacher saw him from behind and snatched the cheat sheet from Jill.
Jill, what do you think you are doing? I thought you were a smart kid.
The teacher scolded Jill and asked him to stay after the final exam. Jill knew his dad would be upset, so after the exam, he asked the teacher not to tell him, but she had already called him.
Son, how could you do that?
The dad walked inside, looking very upset with Jill's cheating.
I'm sorry, Jill, but you cannot compete for the student of the year this time.
The principal told Jill and his dad before taking his leave with the teacher.
Promise me, you will work hard for next year and never cheat again?
The dad asks Jill, who nods, learning his lesson of never cheating. The next year, after Jill learned his lesson and worked really, really hard to be the student of the year, he finally won the award without cheating.
Dad, I won.
Jill ran excitedly to his dad after jumping off the stage and getting his trophy.
See? That's why cheating is never an answer to your problems, okay?
Moral of the story: cheating can lead you to consequences that are hard to resolve. Story number 9, Homemade Pie.
Hey, don't eat the last piece of the pie. I will eat it at home.
Jill stopped his friends from eating the pie his dad made for him. Jill saved up the last piece of pie for himself, happy to eat it at home while watching cartoons.
Did your dad make it?
One of Jill's friends asked as Jill nodded with a happy face because he and his dad both made it together.
Wow, my dad never makes anything with me.
Jill's friend found it surprising that it was his dad who baked and made the pie for Jill.
Yes, my dad is the best. He does everything with me.
Jill proudly said with a happy face as the bell rang, indicating another class's start. After school was off, Jill went to the school gate when he saw the janitor sitting on the floor in the corner of the hallway. Jill ran up to the janitor to see what was wrong with him.
Are you okay, mister?
Jill asked with concern evident on his face as the janitor tiredly looked up at Jill and smiled.
Yes, Jill, I'm okay. I just haven't eaten anything all day and don't have enough money to buy myself anything.
The janitor replied as Jill felt bad at how tired the janitor looked and took his lunchbox out.
Here, Eat this.
Jill handed the last pie to the janitor he was saving for himself after thinking hard.
Really? Thank you, child, thank you so much.
The janitor thanked Jill happily and ate the piece of pie that Jill wanted to eat. Jill smiled and ran towards the school gate where his dad always awaited him. The dad saw the sad expression on Jill's face and asked him what made him so sad.
Are you okay?
Yes, the pie you made for me. I had the last piece of it saved for myself, but I gave it to the janitor when he said he was really hungry.
That's really kind of you, son. Why are you sad?
I wanted to eat it.
Jill was really upset because his friends ate the entire pie and saved the last one for him.
Don't worry, I have another one at home. I made it for you when you were in school.
Really?
Jill's happy face brightened up as his dad smiled.
Yes, I made it to give it to you tomorrow, but since you did something so kind, the pie is now your reward for that kind act.
Moral of the story: always being kind is never left unrewarded. Story number 10: The homework.
I'll do the half later.
Jill placed half of the unfinished homework on the side and started playing with his toy train. He suddenly lost interest in continuing the homework, so he placed it aside and started playing.
Jill, have you finished your homework?
The dad walked inside and got angry when he saw Jill playing with the toy train instead of doing his homework.
It was boring, so I started playing with the train.
Jill honestly told his dad as the dad shook his head and took the train from Jill.
Son, always keep play and work apart. Unless you finish your homework, don't play, and when it's time to play, I won't ask you to do your homework.
The dad said to Jill with a little bit of angry voice as Jill thought for a second before nodding his head happily.
Now, quickly finish your homework, and then you can play as much as you want. I don't want to catch you like this again.
The dad left the room while Jill hurriedly opened his notebook.
From now on, I promise myself that I will always keep work and play apart so I can enjoy both.
Jill said to himself and started writing quickly in his notebook to complete his homework. Was really happy to have found a way by which he could play and study on the same day and not get bored. A while later, Jill completed his homework and ran outside of his room and to his dad's room.
Dad, look, I finished my homework.
Jill jumped on his dad and showed him his notebook.
I'm sorry, son, I shouldn't have scolded you, but great work, champ. Now you can play all day.
The dad cheered his son up as Jill kissed his dad and left the room. For the next few days, Jill kept up with his promise and realized that his dad was never angry at him because of his work and playing a part in his life. When Jill got tired of playing after finishing his homework, he went to his dad, who was cooking in the kitchen, asking him if he wanted help.
You just sit here, and I'll do the rest, honey.
The dad lifted Jill up and placed him on the kitchen island. The dad and son then spent the rest of the days together happily. This also helped Jill learn the importance of keeping separate time for his study, play, and chores activities. Moral of the story: playing and studying at their respective times is the sign of an ethical kid.